All right, good morning. I just recorded this whole video, went back to watch it, and realized the mic was muted the whole time, which classic Friday, except it's Thursday, so no excuses. I'm going to show you my vibe coding setup and then give you a quick demo of how I might make a change to my portfolio page. What you're looking at here on the screen share is my VS Code. Currently, it's connected to my GitHub account, and it has in my GitHub account, it's been opened to the repository that holds my portfolio page. In the middle, we just have a tab, which is one of the folders or files in that repository, interests.json. That's where, in a JSON format, I can add or remove items, which will then be shown on my interests page on my portfolio website. And on the right-hand side, this is where I have AI coding agents extensions installed. We're currently looking at a chat tab within an extension that I think comes from OpenAI. Like, full disclosure, Codex is OpenAI, but when I click on chat, it also does coding for me, which I guess is, I feel like I'm still in the OpenAI extension, but I can pick all these other models, so I'm not even really sure what's going on, but it works great. Um, okay, other point. Let me show you what the portfolio page currently looks like. And like disclaimer, I had thing that I wanted to update for my interests tab here. This is my portfolio page, like some dorky intro statement, featured projects, and you can navigate all the different subpages up here. We'll go to interests. I had this picked out before the video, how do radios work? Radios, how do they work? Which I think is fun. It's like the Magnets song by ICP, but radios. And I've been playing around with SDR and ham radio stuff, so genuinely interesting. Now we have to find something else. So let's go take a look at news.ycombinator. What's interesting here? I love playing the interesting game where just taking turns looking at things with a friend and reading different things here. So reading through it, for me, oh, I bet this is cool. The first interstellar software update, the hack that saved Voyager 1. That's good for me. So we're not going to watch it together. This is going to be great, though. Watch it later. Um, I'm just going to grab this URL, and I'm up here in my ChatGPT. Hey, take this URL, make this URL formatted for my interests.json file. You'll see in a moment what the output of that statement is. This is a really fun example because it kept all of the content from radios. How do they work? With the exception of the URL. So maybe a bad prompt on my part, but let's paste this down here in the bottom right. This is where I'll send commands to the AI programmer, whatever. And I'm just going to update it manually. So let's grab the title, and I'm going to go in here. This is actually kind of a better example because there's a little more manual work going on. There's the title. The URL is already the URL, but let's change this to like space, and what's another good tag? Software updates. We can change it later, but it'll work for now. It's terrible. It'll be fun. I'm going to love it. Okay. And added at, it is the 23rd. So we're done. Well, wait. That's the code that we want to add to this file in the middle. And yeah, we could have just typed it in here. This is really, really simplified demonstration of what you can do with it though. So, hey, I want to update my interests JSON file with the following new interest. So that shows up on my interests page. So there's a request to make sure that it understands I want to update my interest.json file. And the reason I want to do that is because I want my interest page to show this new item. Let's hit enter. And once I hit enter, you'll notice above this typing box, the log, the work log of what it's done, updates nicely so that you can kind of follow along and develop an understanding of the work that it's doing, so that you can really work together comprehensively. It's not like just throwing a request out into a black box and not knowing what or why anything happened. Um, Even then, you can look back at that log and ask probing questions to understand more deeply some of the things. So, very valuable. Okay. I'll add that new Voyager 1 interest to your interest.json file. I'll place it at the top so that it appears as the most recent addition on your interest page. Interestingly, it did the same thing earlier with the radio example, but the radio example on the actual website, and I'll show you, did not appear at the top, even though it was written at the top of the JSON file, which you can see here. The first one is still Lightspeed FOD monitoring case study, and then the second one, which based on what Claude said, should have been at the top. I bet, or I wonder if this page is just sorting by dates, and I see this is a differently formatted date. That might be why. So I'll add it. Perfect, I've added it. Would you like me to commit and push? Commit and push. So this has been added to the file locally, but now it's going to push it online, which is what the website looks at when it decides what content to show you. So it's running some of the commands to take the local file and update online with that local copy. There's the final command, pushing to origin main, which refers to, I don't know, the file. It refers to the version, like the root version or whatever that the website's going to look at. I mean, great example of like you can ask it questions like, what is origin main? Or let's use a real example. I'm going to grab this whole thing and I'm just going to say, perfect. I'm not even going to say that. I noticed this item persistently shows up at the top. Let's just do refresh and see. Yeah, so there's that first interstellar. This is what we just did. We put that online. But it's not showing up at the top still. And again, it might be that date format, so let's just jump in and ask. I noticed this, let's see, well, if this item persistently shows up at the top, could it be due to the date formatting? And I'll hit enter. I'll let it think about that. At the same time, I'm going to look for its entry here and see here. We could probably just change that ourselves and then tell it to commit it after doing our own typing. Or you could commit it yourself, but that's kind of the spectrum of options. Spotted the problem. The date format is this way, while all of the other ones are the other way. It's likely doing a string comparison. Great, great, great. It's changed it. So it's done what we could have done. But if you want to use this tool to make more complicated changes impacting multiple files, even architectural like speed decisions about how to serve some content or something, it becomes very helpful, at least for where I'm at on this kind of work. Okay, it's changed the date. And we finally need to put this online again. Commit and push. So we made a couple of changes. We added the Scott Manley YouTube link about doing a software update to Voyager 1. And we also caught a bug where date formatting was inconsistent, and we're making that consistent by updating one of the entries in the interests.json file. And now both of those things have been put online. Just kind of skimming through the log here. Looks like we're good. So let's take a look. Oops. I did refresh the page. It is still looking like this, but I see that it's been changed here. It's removed the old format and added the new one. It might just be a delay. I do run into a delay, especially with GitHub pages. Oh, that's interesting. So we'll take a look at that later. But that's kind of the overview of what my VS Code looks like, how it's set up, and a demonstration of what it looks like to use it to accomplish some goal. Thank you. Have a good day.